Hey, what's going on, y'all? So I'm gonna be going over two trades that I took Wednesday, and then I took the other one today, Thursday, and both trades was an L. Unfortunately, like we getting real close to that loss limit. So I'm gonna go over today's. I mean, not today. I'm gonna go over Wednesday's trade first, and both trades could have been a W. So this trade on Wednesday was a B plus setup. So I said now I'm not even doing B plus setups no more. I'm only doing A plus setups. Like I might as well just do A plus setups. And the days where I don't get an A plus setup, like Tuesday, then I will just not trade at all. Might as well just not make no money, not lose no money, rather than potentially lose money on a B plus setup. So in this case for Tuesday, I just got in off a 5 minute uh, breaker structure setup and then waited for the break of the candle for my entry. So I had this 15-minute demand zone right here. And if I jump to the 15-minute, um, price was just pushing up. And then it also left this huge gap down here. But then price was just pushing up since then. And so I thought that price was going to, probably fill that gap in during New York session, which it did, but not exactly when I wanted it to. So when I came to the market, 6 a.m. was here. It was still it was just at a high. It wasn't pulling back or anything just yet. So when it did pull back, I was like, okay, I got this 15-minute demand zone right here. So I got this 5 minute breaker structure, and then price pulled back into the supply zone with this wick. And then I got in once price broke this bearish candle right here that retested. And I thought that I could sell price down into this 15-minute zone, maybe a little bit lower, um, and potentially even reach this gap down here, this huge gap down here. So it did that way later around here, around 3:55. So we didn't get a good entry there, but now if I was to show you me waiting for an A plus setup on this same day, go to the 15-minute, look at 15-minute structure. So we didn't reach this demand zone, so that trade would have been avoided. And so when price pushed up, pushed down, and then made another high and pushed back down with this huge 15-minute candle, you see this 15-minute demand zone right here. Mark that 15-minute. Go to the 5 minute to modify the demand zone to make it a little bit smaller. Because sometimes if you use a large demand zone, but you enter off a lower time frame, you can get faked out because the zone is so huge. So that's why I modified on a 5 minute time frame. So it would have been the same candle regardless, but still I could have either entered off of this doji or entered off of this retest candle and then went for a 1 to 2 right here. So, and we would have hit that trade fairly quickly if we got even off a break of the candle here. It was at 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, probably less than 20 minutes because this candle was spiking. I don't know if this was new. Oh no, I think this was just the open, right after the open. So we could have avoided that loss altogether. I don't know what happened. We go back. All right, so yeah, we could have avoided that loss altogether if we didn't go for this B plus setup right here. Because directly after that B plus setup, we got the break of the 15-minute high. We got a retest of the demand zone, and then price continued structure to the upside before falling and going towards that gap that I was talking about. So this day should have been a dub if I went for A plus setups, but now I know like ditch the B plus setups altogether. It's no point of waiting on them. It's no point of trying to get in more trades by adding in a B plus setup and a C plus setup. There's no point of adding in extra, opportunities to get into the market when I can just focus on the A plus setup, which I have two different A plus setups, but this B plus setup, and then the C plus setup is really just breaking my rules. It's just if I don't follow all my rules, that counts as a C plus setup. If I get like 3 out of 4 of my rules, so yeah, ditch all of that and just go for my two A plus setups, which is my 15-minute um, supply and demand entries or my higher time frame liquidity sweeps. That's really all I'm going for. So, and then both of those entries, well, both of those setups, I enter off of the 5 minute break of the candle or a 1 minute um, entry. So, but most of the times it's a 5 minute. So if I go to today, so my trade was correct. What was wrong was me. I didn't wake up on time. Well, I did wake up on time, but then I dozed off and fell back to sleep. And then my alarm ended up going off a little later, like after you like snooze it or whatever. And so I ended up missing my setup by like 5 minutes. So, and then that costs you, especially when you're scalping. So, um, it's the same thing. I already made it in my mind to go for A plus setups, but I just didn't execute properly. So we had this 15-minute supply zone right here, and then we had price just continue to push down, and a mini little consolidation you could call it if you want to right here, and then an aggressive push up into this 15-minute supply zone. And previously, ever since yesterday, price after it made that high, price has been continuously pushing down. So I was like, okay, it pulled back into this 15-minute zone, and I could see a sell off, potentially. And so what I did was go on the 5 minute time frame, look for my break of the candle. But like I said, when I already came to the market, it already broke this candle, and price never retested back up to the candle. Well, if I'm being honest, it did retest off of here, but this was new, so I wouldn't have like got in. That's too risky anyway. But regardless, I was already in the trade. I got in like somewhere like before the candle closed, maybe about like right here. Stop loss was here, and 1 to 2 was like right here. I got in a little later because I had like a 13, point stop. So yeah, it was about here, and then my TP was down here, whatever. So, anyways, now I did mitigate my risk. So price pushed down to a 1 to 1, and I did move my stop loss half. I moved it to half of my position size because I got in late. If I got in on time, once it hit my 1 to 1, I would have brought it all the way to break even and would have taken no L's today. But because I knew my entry was late and I knew it had a higher chance of pulling back to break even if it was going to hit my full TP, that's why I didn't put it directly at break even, and I just mitigate my risk by half. That's why you see today only lost 250 because I was actually risking about 500. So really about like 550, so a little more than half. So but yeah, so if I would have went to my original setup, which is this counter they retested and waited for the break of the counter after that, it went for a 1 to 3 total, and I only go for a 1 to 2, take off my 1 to 1, or go break even at a 1 to 1, and trade would have been real easy and simple. But I got up like 5 minutes too late because the entry happened um, at it happened at 6 o'clock, and I usually get up and market my charts about 10 minutes before because it don't take long. And I had woke up, and I guess I snoozed my alarm. I really don't even remember. I guess I snoozed it, and then it went off at around 6 something, and then I got up and I was like, wow, the entry already happened, but maybe I can get in and still hit TP, but it didn't happen. So yeah, so that's all we got for today. Tomorrow I will see if I can catch up trade Friday, but like I said, A plus setups only. So I'm not going for no B plus setups, no C plus setups. I'm just going for A plus setups. even if we don't pass this combine, the next combine is the same thing, just A plus setups. I'm not even gonna waste my time with going for B plus setups. I'm just stick to these two specific entry setups and then just go from there. So thank y'all for watching. Like, subscribe, comment if you have any questions, and I'll see y'all in the next one.